screen. So guys, the recording things will be shared in, and it's not after the session only. It will take some time. Okay, so don't ping in the group again and again for the recording. We'll give you, don't worry. You will be getting the recording. Okay, so there is some process that we need to follow after the recordings are being saved. Okay, it takes some time for the recording to save and we need to share it to the team. So it takes some time. Okay, so hope you can understand. So what we have studied, we will just brief in the last session what we have studied. We have gone through the traditional network, what is the difference between the traditional and the SD-WAN network. Okay, and we have seen what is control plane, what is the data plane does, what is the control plane does. Okay, and how SD-WAN benefits the network. The network means in the networking, how SD-WAN is becoming a huge thing. Okay, why we are using SD-WAN, why we should use SD-WAN, and from where this SD-WAN concept came. So it came from SDN, something known as software defined networking, which has having LAN network also and WAN network also. Okay, so we also discussed about some of the SD-WAN servers like vManage, vSmart, vBond. Okay, these are also called as controllers, you can say. And we have also seen some important things about them. Okay, like what are the benefits of using them? We have seen the architecture. Okay, we have seen what vManage does, what vSmart does, what vBond does, and what vEdge does. Okay, so this was the last thing that we have seen. Okay, we have seen the vEdges also. Got it? And we have also seen something that we have also gone through a not completely, but we have seen what is underlay and what is overlay, what is known as underlay, what is known as overlay. Okay, and also, so I'll just ask you quick questions. Okay, just to fresh up your mind. So if a controller is talking to a controller, the traffic will go via which medium? It will be which type of traffic? Okay, if a routing information is being shared from a controller to another controller, or any information if they are talking, controller is talking to another controller, which type of connection it would be?
UDP.
Sorry?
UDP.
Okay, UDP, what will be the connection named as?
DTLS.
DTLS. Okay, DTLS will be the connection. And if a controller is talking to a WAN edge, what it would be?
It will be also DTLS.
It would be also DTLS. Okay. And if a WAN edge is talking to a WAN edge, what it would be?
IPsec.
IPsec. Okay, it would be IPsec. Now, why it would be IPsec? Because it is just a communication that is between two WAN edges. Now, not every time the controller will go, means the WAN edge will go to the controller and talk to the controller, then go to not it is not like DMVP, and it will not go to the controller and then come back to the WAN edge every time. Okay, so once it gets the communication to the another WAN edge, it will just go and communicate directly in the next attempt. Okay, so VHS can communicate with each other directly. Okay, once they build a DTL, once they build a connection. Okay, OMP, you can say, once they configure the peering with the controller. Okay, the controller is known as OMP, Overlay Management Protocol, OMP. Okay, now what is the most stable version that I've told you in for the devices? What is the most stable version? 4.4, correct? 18.4.4. Okay, this is the most stable version. This is also used in the lab exams also, whatever the SD-WAN exams are there, whatever the enterprise exams are there, you can say. These all things, this is also used over there. Same version is used over there, you can say. Now, this is something in SD-WAN fabric. You can see over here, we have some, on the left hand side over here, we have vBond, we have something vManage, vSmart controller. We have private hosted. This is a private hosted or managed cloud. You can say we have some REST APIs. Now we have different locations, and on each locations we have WAN edges. Okay, we have WAN edges on each locations. So this is something our small office or home office. This is something our cloud data center. This is our data center. This is campus. This is branch. Now they can have any connectivity. They can have the connectivity either over MPLS, over the LTE, or over internet. Okay. Now all the traffic will be what I said. Whenever the traffic is moving, it will be secured control plane. It will be secured over the control plane. Okay. And you will be having a secured data plane also. Data plane in the sense is, if you remember, I said that one VH can talk to another VH directly once they are part of the fabric, or you can say part of the family. Okay, so these are the components of SD-WAN. Got it? Once they are part of the family, they can talk to each other. Got it?
I have one doubt.
Yes.
Edges to edges, it is communicating through IPsec, and from the controllers to edge, it is DTLS.
Yes, controller to edge, there is DTLS, and controller to
Okay,
controller also DTLS.
DTLS, but edge to edge, it is IPsec.
IPsec, correct.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah. Edge to edge is always IPsec, but it is protected and the secure. It will be over. Means what does edge has? Edge has only data plane. Control plane is where control plane is over the vSmart. So control plane is over the vSmart. Controller is vSmart, and VHS will be only able to forward the data. Okay, so if I talk about something, if I say, let me write something over here. Management. What is the management plane? Who is responsible for the management plane? Management plane responsible for
vManage.
vManage. Authentication plane
vBond.
vBond.
vBond. Okay, everything is having V. Everything will be having V in it. Control plane
vSmart.
vSmart, and data plane
Edges.
VHS. Okay,
Edges.
so VHS, everything will be having Viptila's V in it. They have not removed it. Cisco is trying very hard to remove this V, and they are now building something known as C edges. Okay, they have already built C edges, and some of the ISRs and CSRs you can use C edges, but originally it is something what a product of Viptila. So after a few years, people will not remember Viptila. This is something a recent thing. That is the reason we know the history about this. But in a few more years, after 10 years or 15 years, people will completely forget about it. The new network engineers will not know about it. Okay. So Cisco plans in that way. And what do you mean by authentication plane vBond? What vBond has one more name?
Orchestrator.
Sorry?
Orchestrator, right?
Orchestrator. Correct. Orchestrator. I give you an example. What does an orchestrator does? In the theater, he will show music. He'll just I don't know what is that thing say, means what exactly the word is for that, but he only demonstrate that how the music should be flowing. Okay, and in that way the music goes on. Okay, so vBond is also something that will authenticate all the thing, and it will also send. So vBond is also called as orchestrator. Now every certificate that we are building, so for these all things, okay, so to build a fabric we need something known as certificates. Build a fabric, we need something known as certificates. So to keep all these vBond, vManage, vSmart, vEdges into a single family or single fabric, we need certificates. Now these certificates will be generated based on what? it will be based on VBond's IP address. So we need to give a Cisco, we need to give something, two things we need to perform, we need to give. One is organization name and one is VBond's IP address. Okay. Now let us see what is the requirement for. Now the same requirement is for what? The same requirement is for VHS also. So if I want to board them, I need something known as a serial file. Okay, a serial file is needed. So a serial file is needed to board the VHS into the fabric. Okay, and in that serial file, for to get this serial file, we need organization name and again VBond IP address. Okay, so this is very important. We need to provide this to the Cisco, you can say, and they will give us a serial file. Suppose if I have, if I want to have, now this is paid service. So if I want to have, suppose if I have 5 VHS in my network, I want to have 5 VHS, just a small network I'm saying. So I need to give them my requirement. Okay, this is my this will be my organization name and this will be my VBond IP address. And also every device will have its own site ID. Okay, every device will have its own site ID. Okay. Now all device will be known by its site IDs, by their site IDs. So vManage will have its own site ID in the network. Okay, site ID, vManage site ID. Now site ID can be anything. Now it can be any number, any IP address. Okay, so suppose I keep it 1.1.1.1 or I keep it 1.1.1.2. Anything I can keep. 1.1.1.1 I keep. Okay, vManage site ID. Now site ID would be unique. So all these devices, sorry, system ID, not site ID. The site ID is something, this is system ID. It will be unique. System ID will be an IP address. Now this is same like your, what do you say? Router ID. Router IDs in the OSPF you say. This will be same as the router IDs. Okay. So like router ID, we can keep anything, any 4-digit number you can keep. Okay, so 32-bit address you can keep it as a router ID in OSPF. Now in OSPF, the router ID would be what? It would be the yeah. So you can either you can have a loopback address or you will be having something known as any IP you can keep. Okay, any random IP. So the same way here we have system ID. Okay. Now we have something known as second thing, we have something known as site ID. Site ID will be what? The location ID. Okay, location ID. Either you can keep it as the autonomous system. Okay, you can keep anything. Suppose if I have an autonomous system 100, okay, in which I have a WAN edge, okay, or in which I have a vSmart. So I will keep that as, I can keep that as a location site ID to identify that my this vSmart is at this location. Okay, so location is what? The site. Okay, and for each site you will be having a site ID. Okay, so for each site you will be having the site ID. Got it?
This will be defined by us or Cisco?
Sorry?
The site ID will be defined by us?
No, you can define it. That is not needed. You can define it. It is not needed that Cisco should define it. You can define it by yourself. Okay. Now here you can see this is the serial file. Now I have a serial file for 4 to 5 VHS. This is the serial file that I have got from Cisco. Okay. So I have to buy it. This is a .viptela file. Okay, you can see .viptela. Still the file comes with .viptela only. Okay, they have not been able to change it, or means they have not been able to find a way to to make it means because people have been already using it. Okay, so you cannot change it directly. Got it? So this is the file that I am having. Now, what do you mean by VPN? Anyone? What do you mean by VPN?
A secure private network.
Okay.
Using secure private network through the on secure internet or cloud or ISP.
Okay, you can say it is an encrypted connection over the internet.
Yes.
Right.
From any device to a particular network or from device to device. Okay. So basically VPN will help you to communicate over the internet. Secured connection, you can say. Okay, encrypted secured connection over the internet. Just give me a second, guys. Okay, so VPN, I was talking about VPN, virtual private network. So as I said, it is the encrypted connection that helps you to ensure that the whatever the sensitive data is there, it is safely transmitted. Okay, and also it will what it will do, it will prevent unauthorized people from you can say eavesdropping on the traffic. Okay, so here also this in VPN technology in SD-WAN also we are using a VPN technology. Okay, we are using some VPNs. So in SD-WAN we have VPN that we can use. Okay, so from the number that we can use for VPN is 60 from 0 to 65K you can say. Okay, in which 0 and 512 are reserved. These are reserved. Now these are reserved for what? You can say 0 is reserved for management and 512, or you can say 0 is reserved for transport. Now there are types of VPN also over here. Okay, so if we come over here in SD-WAN, we have three types of VPN. We have transport, we have management, and we have the third one is service VPN. Okay, service VPN. Here we have management, and here we have transport. So this VPN 0 is used or reserved for transport, 512 is reserved for management, and rest all can be used for service VPN. Okay, so you can use rest, sorry. You can use the rest all for service VPN. Got it? So service VPN from 1 to you can say 511 and then 5132 65K. You can use this. So VPN 0 is called as transport VPN. Now it is reserved. Now the name only says. What does this transport means? Transport means control plane. Control plane. Management means management plane. And service means data plane. Okay. So it is transport is reserved for control traffic. Okay. Okay. Via the whatever, if you have any WAN configured or transport interface configured. Okay. So it will never carry any data traffic, you can say. It will only carry the control plane traffic, the what do you say, the control connections, whatever the routing information, all these stuff. It will not never carry any data traffic. Okay, like to forward any data. Okay. Now, initially when you boot any device, Okay, when you boot any SD-WAN device, initially it will the VPN 0 will contain all the interfaces. Okay, all the interfaces except the management interface. Okay, except this 512. All the interfaces will be part of which? Transport VPN. When you, by default, when you boot anything, any device, all the interfaces will be part of transport VPN, VPN 0. Okay, except the management interface. Okay, and by default, all the interfaces will be disabled. They will be disabled by default. They will be not enabled, or they cannot be used by default. Got it? And as I said, VPN 12511 and 513 to so people say that 65,530 until 65,530 they say, okay, we can use, okay, service side data traffic, for service side data traffic 65,530. Okay, some say 65K, some say 65,530. So it is not yet, in Cisco's documentation says 65K, but I have read many other documents. They say that we can use 65,530 and they have implemented it and it is working. So we will go with the Cisco's documentation only. Will not go with anything else. Okay. Now, as I said, now transport. Now, if this is not fixed, you can reverse this number. You can use 512 as transport and 0 as management. They can be reversed. This is not something like it is fixed. Okay, it is not fixed. It can be used by both transport and management. Okay, and not needed that the management plane should be always configured. It is not necessary that it should be always configured. It can be configured or it cannot be configured. Okay, why I am saying that? Suppose if I have some a company network. Okay, suppose I draw a small company, or I draw a small topology. Okay, here is my, this is my vManage. Okay, and here it is connected to a switch, and here it is some internet or something. Okay, and then this internet is connected to another router or switch, and here is my WAN edge. Okay, this is my WAN edge. Now suppose my WAN edge is only one path to reach the what? To reach my vManage, or you have any vSmart over here. Okay, you can say anything. So it has only one path to reach. What if my this path goes down? If this internet goes down, I cannot reach over the, I cannot reach to my controllers, correct? So for that, what is recommended by industry, okay, people, they say that you need to always have a management interface configured with another service provider. Now people say we cannot run management interface, we cannot run always the traffic over the management interface. That is not needed. Okay, if you don't need it, you can shut the port, or you can shut that particular management interface. Whenever it is needed, it can be enabled, and you can have a secure, and you can have a connection over the second service provider. This is not a scenario where we have two connection. This is the scenario where we have only a single connection over the internet. Okay, understood, guys? Now service VPN 512, service VPN, that is known as data plane. Okay, that is data plane traffic. Now you can have as many as service VPN you want to have. Okay, as many as you can configure. That is not means you cannot use a number 0 and 512. Rest all can be used, and you can create all the service VPNs. Okay, for service VPN, we can configure a VPN. We can redistribute any other OMP protocol. We can use BGP with it. We can use any interface. We can assign any interface to that service VPN. Okay, we can do anything. We can have multiple things we can configure. We can configure BGP under that VPN. Okay, so we can configure multiple things with.
One moment, please. I have one doubt. As you said, in zero VPN, transport VPN, it cannot carry data traffic, right?
Correct.
What type of data then it carries then?
It will carry
Just
the
in between.
control connections, all the routing
between.
information. Okay.
In between VHS and V managers, you mean to say?
Sorry, come again.
In between V manager and VHS data it carries.
Yes,
Means
only inside the fabric.
Okay.
What do you mean by data? Data plane means
User
forwarding
traffic.
the data outside the network or outside the fabric.
Okay.
Okay. That is not possible over the transport VPN.
Okay.
Only the control traffic, only the control connections, whatever the control plane traffic would be there, the routing information that needs to be shared to the router. Okay, the
means
WAN
underlay protocol, underlay connectivity, you mean to say?
Yes, you can say as you can say the underlay connectivity, but the information that we will be sharing, the control information, okay, the routing information that we will be sharing in with the family member, with the fabric, within the fabric, that is known as your control connections. Okay.
Once after verified with vBond and once it is registered with
Yes.
vBond, it will communicate to vManage and it will be shared. Yeah.
I just want to add one thing here. So the V Edge devices shares the routing update only to the V Smart, right? Over the OM.
Cannot hear you. Cannot hear your voice. Come again.
I mean to say the V Edges shares the routing updates no, using the OMP only to the V Smart. It does not share to the other V Edges, correct?
Correct. Perfectly correct.
And the V Smart will distribute that information to the other V Edges.
Yes. Right? Yes. That's what I explained you in the first session.
Yes.
That the
transport VPN is for that connectivity from the VH to the V Smart. Can we?
Yes, that's what the control traffic is.
Okay. Okay.
Whatever the routing information is being shared. See, data traffic is something that is forwarding the data. Okay, whatever information I got, I am forwarding the data to outside network or outside my fabric. That is known as my data plane. Okay, see, basically what does the router does? If you take a simple example of a router, it has control plane as well as it has data plane. What does the control plane does? It has all the information of the router, routing table and all those stuff. And what do you have in the data plane? What do you have when you say the data plane? So data plane will have the information like from which interface it will be going out. Means control plane will say that this traffic should go via this way. Okay, this interface. Now to pass that particular traffic, okay, that is known as data plane. Forwarding that particular traffic, that is known as, so control plane will just give the decision that this traffic should be moved via this path, okay, outside this interface. Moving that traffic is something data plane. Understood?
Yeah.
Now 512, as I said, management, okay, it is reserved for out of band network management, okay, between you can say these Viptela devices, okay, for in the overlay network. Okay, so this also you can say never carry any traffic. 512 will never carry any traffic. Okay. Now the interface that is used for this management traffic, it will always reside in the management VPN, that is 512. Okay. So and also the what do you say, by default this 512 is by default configured and it is enabled on all the VH routers. Okay. Got it? It will be enabled on all the VH routers by default. And for these all controllers, vManage, vBond, vSmart, it is by default, means it is not configured by default. So for WAN edges, it is by default turned on, and for controllers, it is not configured. Got it?
Is there any specific reason like why it is not?
That is something that is that was built in that way, that the management plane will be only for the WAN routers, okay, not for the controllers. That is the reason it is pre-configured in all the WAN edge routers.
Okay. So you have mentioned about a scenario where we have a single internet link and we are extending to another service provider. So where we can use the management VPN. So can you explain it? Like I did not get that concept.
So that was just for an explanation that if you have a single internet connection, okay, or if you have a single connection, so most probably in a production network, people say that you should have multiple connections to your WAN edges. Okay, multiple, either one will be internet and another will be MPLS or LTE. So you should have multiple connections to the controller. So if one goes down, you can come up with the another. So then people said, then what is the use of management network? Okay, management VPN. Why we are keeping the management VPN? So we need to make it, we need to use it. Okay, so to use this management interface, they came up with something known as an extra link, and it will be connected to the second service provider. Okay, and through which we can reach the vManage and all the other stuff, and it will be only used when it is necessary. Unless it is necessary, unless the connectivity is up, it will be not used. It is as good as not having this. Okay, but most of the people not recommend doing this. Instead of that, we should have multiple connections, because sometimes it takes time for the management interface to get the connectivity to the another site, and in production it will be very difficult for to make the client wait. Okay, that is the reason this is not a recommended way, but some of the people use this.
Okay.
Okay. Now what I'll do, I'll just show you how to install, means how to add these. Means you guys might be knowing, I don't know, means you guys might be knowing, but I'll just guide you with some of the steps that if you want to virtualize your means your SD-WAN network. First of all, you need a good processor to run this, at least 32 GB RAM, because 16 GB is taken by vManage itself. Okay, so you need at least 16 GB, 32 GB of RAM, and minimum 16 GB is taken by this vManage. We should give 24 GB. So minimum requirement is 32 GB RAM should be there in your laptop and or in your server. And also you can have, means if you want to build some lab in your environment, so you will be needing these 4 images. Okay, so this is 18.4.4. Now the naming would be in this way only, VTMGMT. And in this, we will be having 2 files, hda.qcov and hdb.qcov. Okay, these are the images, these are the hard disk that we will be using. These are VH. Now VH will be having hda.qcov. vSmart will be also having hda.qcov. vBond will be also having hda.qcov. So these are the images that we will be, these are the images that we will be using or to virtualize our network. Now, I don't know, if you guys have used EVNG previously or not. So I will be doing it on EVNG. Okay. So we will be using some SCP protocol, SCP application like WinSCP. So I'll be opening this WinSCP. and now I'll be entering my IP address of the Eve. So this is my IP address for the Eve. I'll be entering my login username and password. Now you need to come on this page. Now you'll get this page. Okay, you need to go under root. Sorry, you are under root only. So you need to go under OPT. Under OPT, you need to go under Unit Lab, Add-ons, Chemo. Under Chemo, I have some files, some CSR files for my different labs. Okay, so here you will see some. Here you need to add those folders. So what do you need to do? Where I have saved them in desktop. So I'll go on desktop, and if you see, these are my files. I'll select all of them, and I'll drag and drop it over here. Okay, now it will take some time for the images to move from this side, from here to there. Okay, so it will take some time.
Sorry to
These
interrupt.
images are, yeah, go on.
Sorry. Would we be given the lab access as well? I mean,
So as of now, we don't have the lab access available for SD-WAN. Okay, but in future it will be available.
okay.
Yeah. Okay, so these are the images. Now, once you add these images, you need to give some commands. Okay, so I'll just go in putty. Where is the putty? Has not been opened. .94.1.5 root Eve. Under the Eve, I'm in the Eve console. Now here I need to give one command /opt unit lab wrapper unl wrapper -a 6 permissions. So you will get this command on the EveNG's website. Okay. Now this is something to make the image stable, okay, or running, or you can say a fixed permission command, so that these images can be used whenever you add a new image. You need to make sure that that per command has been given. So I'm not making a topology now. As of now, I'll just show you about vmanage. Okay, Viptilla vmanage. Now this is the image. This is the icon. 16 GB at least I have to give. 4 CPUs. It has 2 Ethernet ports. I can use as much as I want. Save. Now I'll start it. Now once I console it, I'll get some logs over here. Now first time when I boot it, if I try to log in, it will say me system is initializing. Please wait to log in. Unless you get a prompt like system is ready, you cannot log in. You'll not be able to log in. See, if I try to log in now, if the system is ready, and if I try now I'll be able to log in. Now, very first time when you log in, you will get this prompt. Now we have 2 hard disk over here. We need to use 1 hard disk. So you can see this HDB1 for 100 GB. We need to use this hard disk. So we need to format this hard disk. Okay, we need to format this hard disk. So select the storage to use. So I'll say 1. Would you like to format HDB? I'll say yes. Now it will take some time to come up. Now until then, what I'll do, I'll just make some connections and check if I can reach the there is Linux image. Just give me a second. Let us see if the format is complete. Okay, so you can see the format is completed. It takes some time and system is ready. Admin. Now you'll get a prompt. If I say show run, I'll not have anything over here. Okay, so you can see VPN 0 is there and VPN 512 is not yet configured. So the interface is part of VPN 0 as of now. Okay. Now I have just made some small thing for you can say vmanage. Okay, I've just configured a small script. So I've said config t. I will go in the system and I'll assign a system IP as 1.1.1.1. Site ID I'll configure as 1. I'll say organization name as SD-WAN network lab. Now this I'm using this organization name because I have bought the license or the serial file with this name. Okay. Then I'll go under VPN 0 and I'll say interface ETH0. IP address is 10.2.253.2/24. IPv6 DHCP client. Under the tunnel interface, I need to allow some services. I'll say allow services SSH, netconf, and I can say allow services all also, and I'll no shut the interface. Then as I've explained you that we need a default route. So I'll say IP route. If you want to go anywhere, this is your gateway. This will be the connected interface of the switch or something. And then we need to commit the commands. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll just copy this and I'll go under the vmanage and I'll paste it here. Commit complete. Okay, if I see show run now, I'll see system IP, site ID, organization name, vbond is over here. I'm saying vbond is over here. On this IP address, your vbond is there. This is your VPN configuration, VPN 0 configuration, and there is nothing for VPN 512. Okay. I'm just showing you the connectivity on my main. I'll just show you that.
This vManage is also provided by Cisco themselves. I mean, basically it resides in their cloud, right?
Yes.
vManage as well as the Okay, okay.
So I'll just use a PC just to take the access of this vManage. No, there is no image in it. It seems the transfer did not got completed correctly. It got stopped in between, I guess. There was no image in this folder. That is the reason the host was not getting boot out. Let me do another thing. Now if I say 10.2.253.2, you'll see I got an access of the vManage. Now the default username and password would be admin. And once I sign in, this will be my login page. This will be my dashboard, you can say. Now here we are saying vSmart 0, vEdge, manage 0, vBond 0. Okay, so we can add these devices. Okay, like we can add these devices in the network and we can use. Now I have already shown you this in the last session. We can have, if I go to certificates, if I go to devices, here we will see controllers. Now in the controller, I only have vManage. Okay, now you can go to administration settings. Now here you need to configure organization name, vBond IP address. Okay, and you need to enable the WAN edge certificate, cloud certificate authorization. We need to enable. Okay. So these all things we can do, and we can add the manual certifications also over here, enterprise root certificates. If you want to use enterprise root certificates, we can add it over here. We'll see these all things. Okay. So this is how the vManage has been configured. So this is clear, guys. I've just given an IP address and I've just accessed it on my system. Okay, with the same IP address. Got it? Any questions, anyone? Okay, so we'll stop over here.